Hey everyone, this is Michelle Barnes coming to you live from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Today's topic is something that I think comes up a lot for us in our profession in this industry, and you know what it is I think a lot of people get the objection, I don't have the money to get started, or I don't have the time, and there are some people that will take those objections and say something like, oh, well, how long do you want that to be the case? I don't know if that's really like the best way to deal with that, but I want to share a situation with you guys. I truly believe that events create leaders, and that there will be many pivotal defining moments in your business. And one of the defining moments for me was when I was about 6 months into the business. And I started when I was 23 years old, and I was $80,000 in debt when I saw this business. I had 3 jobs at the time. So I didn't have time and I didn't have money. Okay. However, I did find a way to get started, and I did find a way to come up with time to build my business. But because that was always kind of what I kind of let hold me back. I also because I bought my own excuses, I tended to buy other people's excuses about time and money. And so here's the thing that I want to share with you guys. When people say I don't have time or I don't have money, that's typically their own limiting beliefs in their ability to do the business. Because here's the thing, guys, don't we always come up with time and money for the things that we choose to come up with time and money for? I mean, we'll always make time for the things we want to make time for. We will always come up with money for the things that we find valuable enough to come up with money for. So really, when it comes down to it, time and money are never, ever, ever, ever an issue. I mean, they really aren't. And I remember this defining moment. I was 6 months into my career in this profession. I was 23 years old. I think I had just turned 24. I was at a 3-day seminar, a 3-day event, a training in Winter Park, Colorado. And I remember one of the trainers was up on stage, and he said, he just started off that part of that training segment with, time and money are never an issue. And my instant little voice said, easy for you to say. He was making like 100 grand a month. So, of course I'm sitting there, poor me, and in my mind, that little voice of mediocrity said, oh, easy for you to say, time and money are never an issue. Right. And he drew this huge thermometer up on the board. And so I've used this analogy ever since. And if you think about a thermometer, our whole goal as leaders and as people in this business is to relate to people, but to raise that value thermometer. The more you raise the value of, the better you get at raising the value of why they should come up with $500 to get their affiliate pack. Okay. Or why they should carve out 5 to 10 hours a week out of their busy lives and busy schedules to create a better life. I love what Bob Proctor says. Sacrifice is just giving up something of a lower value to receive something of a higher value. And so that's the thing. We need to help our prospects see that if they come up with 5 to 10 hours, which they can, the average person watches 27 hours of TV a week. Okay. So the typical person can probably carve out 3 to 5 to 10 hours a week to build this business on the side. If they say, oh, gosh, I'd really love to start with the affiliate pack, but I just don't have the money. Well, we have to get better at raising the value. And how do you do that? Usually it's by relating to them. For me, I can relate to anybody with, I don't have time. I mean, I'm a single mom with 2 kids running a business, and life is crazy. So, I know that, it's crazy to, come up with time. Or even when I started in the business, I could share my story of like, hey, you know what? When I started in this business, I was 23, I was $80,000 in debt. I was broke, professional college student. And I had 3 jobs at the time, but I still decided to fit this into the cracks of my life and do this business while I existed, because I didn't want to be stuck having 3 jobs forever. And I was so sick and tired of money always being an issue. Well, now that person is going to relate to me more, because they're going to be like, gosh, me too. I'm sick of money being an issue. And yeah, I'm working all these hours and I'm not getting ahead. So getting them to relate to you. And if your story isn't going to be that one of the time and money issue, then share mine or share someone else's story. There's a lot of people in our profession that quote unquote didn't have time or money when they started, but found a way to come up with time and found a way to come up with money because the person they were working with or one of their upline leadership team made it valuable enough to them to make the time and make the money. So like I said, the best approach is to relate to them, understand that time and money really are never an issue. And like I said, when I stopped buying my own excuses about time and money, that's when I stopped buying everyone else's. And at that point, my business, my income in that 1 month doubled. I went from 4,000 the month before to over 8,000 in a 30-day period, just when I stopped buying people's excuses. So I stopped buying my own excuses, and then I was able to stop buying other people's excuses. And I learned that it was about me becoming better at the skill of raising the value. So hope that helps.